evening and welcome to this week's edition of the Tilton Talk Show. I hope you can hear me. I'm not too loud. Hang on, I'll turn myself down a bit. Okay. So that intro was a special intro to a new video coming out hopefully Friday called 1875 Our Stories. What do you think of that then, guys? Anybody who listened to it?
Yeah, class that was. And it's funny because that was the year you were born as well.
It was, yeah.
And 20 years after Auntie Linda was born. I mean, it really is. It's taken some really, isn't it?
You gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, because you were born round about then. How old are you anyway, Claire? Sorry.
What job do you do again?
Yeah. Okay, so we've got no Nick at the moment. I'm going to try and attempt to get him on the phone within the next 5-10 minutes anyway. So, but before then, we've got a game to mull over, haven't we, Mark?
Yeah, certainly have. Well, what can I say? I mean, Saturday was so flat, it was unbelievable. First 5 minutes, we started quite brightly, I thought. Their goalie looked a bit dodgy, and we thought, if we have a few more pot shots here, we could have a few goals. But it just went downhill. The longer Blackpool held on, the more they got into it, and they made us look completely just flat and average. And to be fair, again, I don't get why we can beat Millwall, and then it's suddenly beach mode again at home. It was just, the season's not over yet. No. And yeah, we can't, we're safe and all the rest of it, but we pay hard-earned money and we give up our time to see a committed performance and at least have a few, shots at goal. Didn't happen. And I don't get it, especially after the Millwall result, which was fantastic. So, we've still got a bit of work to do, especially bearing in mind all the good vibes from the proposed takeover and all the rest of it. But no,
yeah, we'll come to that.
I was looking forward to Saturday, and it just, came out the game afterwards, and everyone's flat. It's like back to normal.
Yeah.
So,
was it a case? Was it a case of end of season? Let's have a party.
A little bit. I mean, but again, when they go over that white line, and we're at home, you expect to see a bit more than that. I mean, we're scared to have a shot at goal, to be honest, Chris.
Yeah.
Where are our shots from the edge of the box and testing the keeper, every few minutes? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Yeah. I thought it was brave to go with the young kids in midfield.
Yeah.
I think that's probably Bellingham's best game for us. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same old story. We just don't look like scoring at all.
No.
Regardless of formation, we just don't look like scoring.
Yeah, do you want to come in, Craig? No.
I was going to say, Bellingham, he ran the show on Saturday. So many different attributes that he has that his brother's got as well. The runs across midfield and the way that he turns on a pivot, he is just so good at getting hold of the ball and then knowing where different things are going to happen. But I agree with Mark. There was just no attacking prowess whatsoever. And I really believe that, had we got to Blackpool and continued the way that we were early on, then score a goal and they completely fold. There was a sack full of goals that we could have got because they would have had to have come at us. Instead, we let them attack us, and through one very silly, mindless piece of, and I would say defending rather than having a go at the goalkeeper, we concede a really stupid goal. But end of season syndrome, nobody really should be saying it. We should be fighting to be higher in the league and as high as we can. We heard the players coming out and saying, we want to finish higher. We want to get more points. Right? Prove it. The weekend, really tough game against Coventry. Last home game of the season will be a celebratory game for Sheffield. They're going to want to leave the league with a bang. But hey, we always seem to turn it on against the teams that are above us. So perhaps we can go out and get 2 results. But simply the weekend, not acceptable. Not acceptable on any way, shape or form. And for those people that had to pay quite a bit of money to watch that game, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, what were your views on that, Claire?
I think it just summarised our season in one. So inconsistent. I agree with you, Biz. I think we just don't shoot from outside the box. It was a bit of a nothing game, but again, we coming into it with their away record, they're not scoring goals. You just knew that they were going to get something from it. I think us against Millwall was a typical Blues performance. I thought we were brilliant. It was nice. I think Joe Bellingham is going to be up there. I think if next season he should be a starter because he was phenomenal against both of them. So hopefully he can just carry on. But he just proved off the bench, really. Like, now Scott Hogan's out for the next 2 games. Is Deeney going to come in and do anything? I don't really know. You're just looking at if Jukovic, anything happens to him, what's going to happen, like what the changes are going to be. He needs to start playing our players, I think, because a lot of the time we're relying on the loans. So let's see, put Chang in there. James, it's going to be sold out against Coventry. They've sold their home end, so it's going to be rammed. It's going to be packed. It's a derby.
Is it 4,500
they've got to win. So we need to step up, and I think let's start playing some of the youngsters now who we actually own, and let's just go for it. We've got 2 games left. Let's just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Let's also add to the equation. Blackpool started the game with 12 first-team players out of their squad. And we think, we're in a dire situation. And Linda Magnus just raised, they actually started the game without a striker.
Yeah.
So, we conceded that sloppy goal. Got to say, we hugely missed Kadra.
Oh, definitely.
We did.
His perhaps prowess around the goalmouth and attacking areas would have got us and been a different game if he was playing on Saturday.
Yeah. There's some pace and an outball as well. Just like, I like Hannibal and he runs a lot, but there's no, and he started quite well, but we just lack that outball and that bit of pace and just that. He shoots from outside the box. He likes to have a go at goal. We like to pass it in. It's just a shame really because, off Millwall, we could have really, really gone for it, but just typical Blues.
Alan, was you at the game? Did you see the game, Alan?
No, I made up my mind I wasn't going to that game after the Stoke, and because 2 things. If you're going to play home matches like that, I ain't travelling 200 miles to watch it, and 2, the pitch. If that pitch don't get better, then we might as well pack in. It's you can't play football on it. Anyway, I did something else on Saturday. I went and earned a few quid, so I could buy a season ticket next year. And when I was umpiring, basically, and I came off the field and I picked my phone up and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I nearly threw my phone against the wall. Anyway, I went home and I started to pick the details. I looked and I thought, no wonder we didn't score a goal. We only put 1 striker on the pitch and he was on his own. One thing about Juki, as good as he is, he needs support. He needs somebody to get those flick-ons to. No Kadra, no Hogan, no Deeney. Who's going to score? And you might as well have not bothered. And the other thing that gripes me, and I'm not having a go at the manager. I'm a big supporter of him, but he does his interview every pre-match. And he says, we're looking to get so-and-so back and blah, 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 and blah, blah. And only one of those people who were out actually came back. And he knew that he was going to have no Kadra and no Hogan. So why didn't he say, we're going to blood somebody? We must have a striker somewhere in the club. Why not, rather than going with no striker, going with somebody, okay, he might have been a youth team player. It doesn't matter. He's a professional striker. The others aren't. They're all midfield players. And they're fine at midfield players. But our leading goal scorer, who hasn't played for a month, has got 10 goals. Juki, who's our most precious player at the moment, has got 6 goals, right? And then you got, it's 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. we don't score more than one goal a game. And with no strikers on the pitch, we ain't going to score any. So that sort of appeased me a little bit, and I'm glad I didn't go.
Yeah.
To be honest, going back, sort of touching on that, when it comes to Troy, I'd have given him longer than what the few minutes he had. I'd have given him a good half an hour to get some minutes into his legs. I just thought, we had nothing to lose, really.
Why not start him? Why not?
Or even if he's good enough.
If we've got an hour out of him and we scored a goal, then we don't lose, do we? But we only put him on, I assume, after we went a goal down.
Yeah.
We changed the system as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Didn't we go, wasn't it like a 5-3-2 by the end, which we never did well at?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was
back to same old player. It's back to same old thing. Can I just say a quick mention to Etheridge as well? I thought Ethers has done well since he's come back in. He looks a bit more assured, a bit more focused.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was as well on Saturday. He made some fantastic saves.
Yeah.
But this whole, and what led to the goal ultimately, this whole playing out from the back and passing across the own face of your goal. I mean, God, when I was playing football, one of your first rules was, first of all, if you can't get it to a player, make sure you're clearing your lines. If in doubt, kick it out. That was always the saying that was stuck there, but we didn't. We continued to play with this. We're going to give it to a defender. And we haven't got the defenders. They played with a very high press. So they were on top of us before the ball had even got near the defender. No pace, then you're playing yourself into trouble. It's what led to our goal that we conceded.
You put it up top, beat it up. No, we do it every other time.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was comical, really. But it's a shame though, because Etheridge deserved another clean sheet.
Yeah,
because he had a decent game.
Yeah, you could see his frustration after it all. I will say, and that's the other thing I still like. He was proper racked off. I mean, you could see him in the goal mouth having a right go, and he had a go at the defender. Agilate. Just got to get it out. It's simple. Clear your lines. If you clear your lines, you can't score. You can't concede a goal. Can't concede.
Exactly,
you don't lose a game.
That's it. So,
how many games is it till his contract goes up?
I think he's only got the last 2 left, hasn't he? And then is he out of contract at the end of the season?
Yeah, but isn't it like, didn't he have a certain amount of games till his contract doubled or something?
It triggers, doesn't it?
Yeah. How many games is that?
Oh, I've got a feeling he's triggered that.
I think he has.
They thought he triggered it when he came onto the pitch and started the game in effect. They believe it triggered at that point.
Yeah.
But Etheridge is another one where, for me, Sky raised it when we was against Millwall. We're one of only a few teams in the league that can actually say that we have 2 first-class goalkeepers in the squad and in the starting lineup. Everybody else is reliant on one keeper and then a reserve keeper that's young or has not really been around the game much. We're not. We're totally opposite.
I'd argue that we've got the best 2 goalkeepers in the league.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Ruddy would walk into any side in the league because he's,
of course,
going back to pre-season. When we signed him, I was well chuffed because he's just class. I just wish he was younger.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like to go to some of these players though and be like, right, we haven't got a lot of money. You've been here for a few years. Here's a contract.
Oh, we lost you then, Claire.
Oh, because too much noise. Would you basically say to some of these? Would you go? Here's a contract on the table. It is less than what you were on. If you want to stay, here you go. Otherwise, do you think that's happening, or do you just think that we're just going see you later?
I think we'll keep him, Claire. I think he might be on reduced terms. That's what I'd do anyway.
I question what's going on. I mean, in a way, I kind of like the fact that a lot of it seems to be going silent in terms of the player contracts and what we are or are not offering. Ultimately, it's down to the players. Etheridge, would I keep him? Yeah. Is he my number 1? No. Ruddy's still my number 1. I look at the rest of the squad. Harley Dean, would I keep him? Yeah. Is he a player that can fit in the team? Yeah. Long, do we extend this short-term contract? We should. But they've all got to accept that we don't have a fat lot of money. We can't offer them the contracts that they have been on. However, if they want to play football, they want to show their worth, and they want to give something back to the club that stuck by them ultimately for the past 5 seasons, for Dean, for Colan, then, and for Etheridge, this is their opportunity. It's also every team, I think, in the league is in a position where they can't really offer substantial wages. We're not the only ones with financial difficulty. So they've got to kind of play the game and see what happens. I can't see in Premier League. I think Championship is the best for all of them. But just see what they can give back.
Do you think we'll keep hold of Colin?
I hope so.
I
hope so as well. I think it'd be a shame to just let him go like that. It'd be interesting to see him with better players around him.
How much has the, let's call them rumours of new ownership affecting this thinking? I mean, we've had no announcements about season tickets.
No.
And at least by now they've said if you renew, you pay the old price. That's normal. We haven't even had that. Can a manager go in and offer, say, right, we want to keep you, we'll give you this, and then somebody comes in and buys the club and says, no, we can't afford that, or we don't want him. We want, I've got 10 million. We're going to buy this bloke. It's maybe it's a bit wishful thinking, but there is a situation there that makes negotiations difficult, because we do. I'll go back to the old men up front, Dukey, Deeney, and Hogan. Now, if we could, we'd want to replace all them, because they're getting too old. They're not, as we are now, they're worth offering a new deal to. But if we suddenly become a buying club rather than a selling club, we might not want to do that, and it's all a bit unsettling to me.
I think the other thing with this new owner or potential new owner situation is that players are going to hold out. They are going to wait to see, because if people do come through and they have got a bit of money behind them, and there's a way of getting that into the club straight away, then those people are asking for what's going on. They're going to want to know. Make the decision. And Chris has just totally took over by ringing that.
I'm ever so sorry. I was just
that telephone line again, Chris. We've told you before, you'll go blind if you continue to ring.
I was trying to get Nick, but I'm not sure he's. I'm
here.
Oh, he's here.
Really?
Hey.
There you go. Unfortunately, it works.
But we were, in terms of the
I
other
can
side.
only see me at them. Sorry.
Yeah, because you're not on Zoom.
All right, try again, Chris, if you would.
No, I can hear. We can all hear you. We can all hear you. Hello. Technology is.
You're not going to the Zoom?
You said you couldn't get on Zoom.
No, I can get on it if you call me.
Oh, for God's sake! All right then. I'll call you back in a bit.
One job.
Gonna have another lie down.
In regards to the players, I think the other thing is the fact the players' agents are predominantly behind what they go in for and how they go through it. I think, people like Kylan, we're not going to be able to offer them the same salary, but potentially what we can do is, here you go, is another signing on fee, and that's a sum of money that can be given to them straight away, and then a lower salary, which balances it out. We've got a lot to do. Got a paper-thin squad that showed that the weekend, and let's face it, with all the different outgoings that are going to happen, we don't want to start from scratch. I'd love to be able to think we could start next season with 70% of what we've got now. because it's got a really good base to it. You know, we want to continue it.
Yeah.
The problem is as well on social media. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, get rid of him, get rid." And before you know, people are coming with 12 or 13, 14 players. We can't afford to get rid of a massive cut. We've got to play it sensibly a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, with like Sanderson and Trusty and like Billick and things like that. Hopefully, we might be able to do deals. Kadra, I don't think Brighton will want Kadra back. Sanderson's already been offered. Hannibal, I don't think we'll get him. I think he'll go to France personally.
Yeah, I think he'll go abroad.
Yeah, I just think we maybe try and get some of these. But as I was saying earlier, I do think we need to start buying players, putting them on 3 and 4 year contracts. They are ours to keep. Getting in a few loans and then go with everything else. Everyone's talking about the stadium and things like that. Let's get an actual team to play there first, and then we can then build on that. Let's have a few seasons where we're mid-table in the championship. Could we get playoffs? No, we haven't. But do you know what? We're not worried. We're safe by February. So
do you think we can afford it over there?
It depends on these people that come in. Hopefully, they need to come in sooner rather than later. It's not. They're not taking over it all, so we still have got the Chinese in. So they're going to have to put in some sort of money. I can't see Jude Bellingham leaving this summer. He might not. No, Jude's leaving this summer unless he's going somewhere like Real Madrid. Because even Dortmund are saying, we can't really let you go. So they're holding out, but it doesn't benefit them in any other way. Yeah. And then gets our backs up, and then they've got somebody who's going to come in and put money in. They've got to both work together. It's got to be a partnership, really, because they've still got a stake in it. So
don't forget that all this could fall through.
Oh yeah, I don't believe anything until they're stood at St Andews
I'll get you, mate.
with a scarf above their head going, "We are now part of you." I'm not wishing anything.
What I'm more concerned about next season is the dreaded points deduction again.
Why? What point?
We're not having it. It's already been sorted.
What points deduction? There is
potential. I'm saying if we spend silly.
Yeah. Well, I think. Potential, everybody talks about the potential for a points deduction, right? It's in the EFL's interest, not just the clubs, but the EFL's interests to get new owners in. Because once they get those new owners in, they don't have to hold their hands up and go, we screwed up. Because at the moment, if they continue the way we are, they punish the club with points. The club are going to argue absolutely backwards and forwards. They'll argue it. They'll take it to court, the whole lot, because they'll just turn around and go, "You agreed it."
Yeah.
So they'll push back. I think the announcement last week and the way it was drip fed out is potentially a ploy for the people that are interested in taking over the club to not only take over a small percentage, but to push for the full sale. I really do believe that the people behind it know what they're doing. It's firstly for it to come out from Bloomberg, right? Not a kind of
no
hodgepodge type of reporting area. It's a real high profile one.
It's a proper financial
institution.
Yeah.
And there's no smoke without fire. This guy sounds fantastic. I agree with Claire. Till it's signed, sealed, and delivered, and he's holding the scarf, looking over the Tilton.
Yeah.
It hasn't been done. However, are we further along? Are we going to progress quicker than we have done before? I really do believe we are. I said it on WM last week. They want to come in. They want to get the feet under the table, and they want a pre-season. Because they want to be able to start that season and say to the fans, "We've come in and look at what we've done so far." We've got a lot of people to get back on side. The fans need to do their part as well. I know we haven't got season ticket renewal prices and stuff or anything yet, but we've also got to realise that these people can come through the door reported $6 billion worth in the area
That's
that he works
crazy,
in.
isn't it?
Doesn't matter what you're worth. You can only.
Doesn't
you
matter
can
what
only-
he's worth.
Yeah, because I mean,
It's
look at
about
Stoke,
what-
the richest club in the country, and they can't spend a penny of it.
We can't because it's only based on what income to the club.
Mm.
So we've got to look at it from a point of view of they've got to come through the door. They've got to find a way to invest money and get money into the club quickly.
Well, let's say,
we can
for
have some
instance, then,
suspense.
right? They buy 10 chicken booker pies at £1 million each.
Booker boys.
Investment to the club.
You'd
Money
end
into
up
the
in
club.
jail doing that.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Go back down
Is
the
that
realms
money
of
laundering? Is
money
that kind
laundering.
of it's not money laundering, is it?
Or us,
That's why the stadium is really important, because that's where you're going to get more people in, spending more
Definitely.
money,
Yeah.
and that's why they need to, sort the stadium out, because, until we fill our own stadium now, there is no point in building another one. Like West
Because we're
Ham,
not,
you know,
because we're not even selling out half the ground. It's quite depressing. I thought after COVID, people would be excited about coming back and think that's it, never again. But we can't even sell out half the ground.
because of the prices. Like, are you going to pay 30 quid to go and watch Sheffield United in a nothing game? Are you going to, get kids for £1? Let's get people back in and join it. But some people just will not spend the money while we've got these owners, because they don't want to give them the money. So as soon as they go, as soon as there's different things going on, it will build it back up again. And that's what it needs to be. It's got to be slow. Like, it's going to be a slow thing, and people are just expecting money, bang, look at us, we're going to be playoffs and everything.
We know it
doesn't work like that.
can't, and it won't happen like that.
It won't.
It can't.
I don't want it to.
Simply can't.
No.
I'm not actually sure about this this thing, like, that we can't fill our stadium and so forth. How are we going to fill a huge stadium like that? I actually think that, if the infrastructure's there and things are priced correctly, I think actually you could. You get the prices right.
Looking at some of the other clubs, though, and what they've released so far, and see, the one that stands out an absolute mile for me. And first of all, congratulations to Ben Foster and the team at Wrexham for getting back into the Football League.
Yeah.
But I looked at their season ticket structure and their pricing. And this is Wrexham.
Right, yeah.
So these are guys that are coming through the door. The American owners have come in, they've set their stall out, and they've got over their first hurdle. But an adult season ticket at Wrexham, playing Division 2 football next season, great. £375, right? I paid that to watch Birmingham play. Now, and their structure for kids is probably a little bit better than Birmingham's. Only just, though, in terms of the fact that it's £23 for an under 11. I think Birmingham was 50. Under 18s was £100, 150 for us. And the old man's season ticket. Sorry for any old men watching.
Yeah, Nick.
And sorry, old lady. That's right. I'll be correct there.
I was going to say, don't leave my mum out. Come on.
Yeah.
We've never
Those
seen your mum,
seasons-
Claire.
They're all priced roughly about the same. I think it was 270 or 280. So actually, Birmingham's great value for
we've got some of the best.
Yeah,
Huddersfield have done it well. Huddersfield have they've got the cheapest at the moment. I think it's about 200 for an adult.
Yeah.
They've gone well. They've just gone, do you know what? We're just doing it across the board. And people will go.
Sorry, Claire. Are we still doing the kit, like the free kids one for the under 8?
No,
because we're not doing that anymore. Because
stopped this season.
It's stopped, has it?
They introduced it at the lower rate for £50. Which again, I'll still come back to it. It's still good value. I think it works out about £2 or just over £2 a game. From my perspective, keep the pricing the same. Or I love that what Huddersfield have done. I think every area of St Andrews, if they lowered the price in the COP, and brought it all in line with what was in the Tilton, because ultimately, your seats at the side, but you're watching the same football as what everybody else is. So get a unified structure. Price it so that a family structure can be brought in as well, because that's what the future's the kids. That's who we've got to win. That's who we've got to bring back round. And for the last 2 games of the season, I'll tell you what, right? I want to charge £50 for a ticket. Do it. I couldn't care less as a season ticket holder. I want the place full.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
Wouldn't bother me.
Because then they'll go to the shop, then they'll buy food, and then they'll do this, and then they'll do that, and then they'll want to come back, then they'll want a shirt, then it just generates.
Exactly. Yeah. Get the kids in. They'll get hooked. They will get hooked.
Kids are the biggest spenders of parents' money ever.
That's
I promise you.
Totally true. Totally true.
Because you'll go, Daddy, can I have? Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, you will.
So that's what we do.
Yeah.
Even spend £10 on street food. That's what they'll do.
Bingo.
Even get a hot dog.
Bingo.
You disgust me, Claire Giblin. You disgust me.
Oh, God.
They don't
Give me
like
goosebumps.
multi pies. They're only going to own a hot dog from outside and a coffee from Garrison. You know what I mean? So at that point in time, we'll be sorted. But in all seriousness, right? For me, the Sheffield game, they've got to fill the place, and I don't care what they charge to fill it.
It don't matter.
Oh dear, Claire is the future, Mark.
Isn't it funny though that we managed to
future.
fill the ground against Fulham on the last game of the season, and that was a full ground.
Yeah.
Yes, we needed to win to stay up, but we managed to fill the stadium. We can fill the stadium. We can do it.
We could do it.
We have done it.
We can do it. Yeah.
But at the moment, we've lost it.
Yeah.
Get it back.
And
What people have got to realise is
It's also the
comes
point,
in-
Nick, that when we only get that when we have to go to the
Yeah,
end.
absolutely.
Of the season.
Yeah.
So you can't win, can you? You know, we're safe with that 5 games to go, and we're moaning that they're all on the beach. But if we've got to win these last 2 games to stay up, the place would be packed. And we'd be moaning. We have to this struggle every year, so you can't win, can you? What we need,
but we've made progress. We've had a better season this year than last year.
Yeah,
right. In terms of position in the table, that's all that counts. That's it. That's all that counts. Nothing else matters, right?
Well, if nothing else matters. We should. These are our pre-season games for next year. In two senses. Obviously, we got to get a team together next year, and we need to work that what that's going to look like. But we've got to put bums on seats, because if we suddenly had a new owner, and he spends a few million, and we suddenly got a star team, everybody will come. But that's not likely to happen. That's not likely to happen. What somewhere in the middle is likely to happen. And we've got to get people excited. Yeah. Now, I said on my blog the other day, I'm a big baseball fan. And in American baseball, right, they play 180 games a season, 6 games a week. And a lot of them are watched by very few people. And get towards the end of the season, when everybody's out the running of the playoffs, about half a dozen teams, they are giving kids hats and free this and free that, just to drag them through the door. Yeah. And you've got nothing to play for, so you have to entertain people.
Absolutely.
That's what we should be doing.
Yeah. And entertainment is a business. Entertainment is a business, right? Football is entertainment. It's a business.
Yeah.
It's anything. And there's so many things that you can do. So many things that you can do to encourage people to come. Mm-hmm. It's not just the 11 guys on the pitch, the manager and the substitutes. There, I mean, look, I'm not going to knock it, but entertainment. I've been in the entertainment industry pretty all my life, and I go up and I sit in the top tiers of the Upper Gilmerick. And all you can hear on the tannoy system is just
it's rubbish, isn't it?
It's rubbish, like somebody talking Swahili. This is an entertainment business, right? It has to be driven by you inspiring the members of public or the fans, right? into oh, that was brilliant, that's brilliant. You can't hear a word, mate. Honestly, not a word. So that is, to me, is really poor entertainment. Yeah, and I think as a football club, we should just we go around and do more stuff at half time, involve the fans more at half time. Yeah, okay, they pick a couple of guys out to kick a ball. What about the lottery that we used to have? I won £1,000 on that back.
We know, yeah, remember?
Mind you, it's got on going back to the half time on Saturday. They had the kids playing, and that was quite entertaining.
Yeah.
We used to
Probably
do that.
better
We
than
used
the
to
actual
all the time.
game.
Yeah, it was. Well, yeah, there's better
Again, Claire,
quality on
sorry, I
offer
missed that,
there.
love.
It's probably better than the Stoke game and the Blackpool game
It
all
was.
in one.
Yeah.
The thing is, you
More
never know who you're
entertaining.
going to sign up next, do you?
No.
Even to the youth teams, you know what I mean?
I think, Calvin Hembros has raised a good point, and he said that football, unfortunately, is nowadays not just about what happens on the pitch, but you've got to build a brand. And it's so true. You look at the teams around us and what they do and how they build their brand side of it. Football is about the person kicking the ball on the pitch. The brand is what people remember. The brand is what people come back for. I agree about the entertainment side of it. We've got to give a little bit more. I actually think the club do a lot.
I'm not knocking the guy on the pitch, Craig, because I think he does a sterling job. He's brilliant, right? I'm knocking the infrastructure and the system and the sound system. You should be when you go to Molyneux, you can't hear yourself with their sound system. It's superb.
Yeah.
But I'd rather.
I think, Craig, before we go, I think this is really why we need to move. I know it's not a popular subject, but I think we need to move.
You know what?
Infrastructure and everything. We just do.
I know exactly where we need to move to as well. Exactly, pinpoint accuracy.
Not your
The wheels. The wheels park.
Utoxeter?
I wouldn't move to the wheels thing.
No,
I wouldn't move there. You need to move to Digbeth where they have the Commonwealth.
Utoxeter, Claire.
Yeah. No, they need to move to the Smithfields bit where the Birmingham Markets is. You've got all the trains. You've got everything else. If you're going to move that way. There is no point I know that it's similar distance, but moving up there, it's pointless because it's
where?
Exactly
where are you
the
talking,
same.
Steve? Where are you talking, Claire?
Where they had the net.
Salty Gasworks that way.
The Smith, is it Smithfield?
It is Smith. I know. Yeah, it's all derelict now. They used to have the Sunday markets, didn't they, and so forth. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
If you're gonna go anyway, go there or go towards the south of Birmingham. That's where you need to go.
Yeah.
Don't go north because that's where they are.
Need to go to Utoxeter. I promise you.
So do we not think NEC would be a good?
No, we'd lose. We wouldn't we wouldn't be
far. Too much.
We'd lose our identity going all the
way.
What
about Saltley?
Why would we lose our identity?
Coming down soon, isn't it?
We're right in the Chelmsley, Smithswood catchment area and south of Birmingham.
I just think
it's hard to get to.
I don't think you can go too far from the city centre.
City centre, you'll be fine.
You can't go too far from the city centre. Seriously.
Yeah.
You know what?
So nobody's answered. So what would you actually say to where Saltley Gasworks is?
Yeah, it's a bit close to.
It's too far up north.
It's too far.
Too up near them.
It's just going a bit.
It is. It's too near them.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just round the corner from Perry Bar. So Perry Bar's not.
Yeah, we're not going that way.
Okay, all right, okay.
What about more on the shape box?
Pardon?
What about more towards Edgbaston then?
Yeah.
Harborne.
Yeah.
It's Harborne.
Let's put it out there to the listeners. Tell us if we were to have a new stadium, where do you want it to be?
Yeah, absolutely.
We know people from the club listen. Yeah. You know that your points of value. So tell us where would you want it to be?
3 or 4 times. Yeah. Nobody's come up on me. Nobody's put me
Say that again in your band.
There must be 150 Birmingham supporters here. Yeah, there must be 150 Birmingham supporters here in this town.
We wouldn't even go north of Birmingham. So
but I won't have to drive, Claire.
Okay, so
it's all about me doing the driving.
So somebody's agreed with you there, Claire. Stephen Gill said he's gone for Digbeth. Calvin's agreed with you as well. Oh, okay. NEC, Digbeth.
Right.
NEC,
Chris,
Cannon
the
Hill Park.
infrastructure at the NEC, M6, M42, not far from the M5. The ways out would be absolutely superb. There's just too many other things going on at the NEC. And who wants to be stuck in about 7 hours of traffic when there's a big event on like Crufts or something like that?
Yeah, but you know, there's other areas that do that, and actually it attracts more people in. Investment-wise, right? You go up towards the NEC, such powerful things with the concerts, for example, right? The NEC halls hold the concerts. You have a stadium there. Yep. That's going to pull more people in. It's going to be
totally great.
You have more opportunity. Coventry have done it.
Yeah, it's great.
What happened to them?
Great links at the NEC. Great links.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? The motorway, train station, everything. Yeah.
We've got trains, you've got the airport, you've got the M6, M42, and you're just around the corner from the M5.
And
what more could you want?
You've got a great catchment area as well.
But it's the bloke that lives in Allen Rock and Yardley and Sheldon
who walks. Yeah.
Are they going to get there? Okay, buses, whatever.
It's a number 60 bus.
A million cars.
Yeah.
You need a car park the size of Manchester to get everybody in, because people ain't going to go on the bus because it's not quick enough. It's not reliable enough.
It's a very reliable service. It's straight there, honestly. I'm there every day. It's straight there.
Not when there's 30,000 people want to get there. Do you work with 30,000 people?
This is what I'm saying. The infrastructure, if the infrastructure's correct and they build huge car parks, bus people
multi-stories.
Buy a bus company. They're multi-billionaires. Buy a bus company. Wheel people in for nothing.
Park and ride. Loads of other, like Reading do it.
Reading do it brilliantly.
Literally, the amounts of other teams that do a park and ride
Cardiff do the track.
Cardiff do it.
No, it works. This is the other thing
we could have
as well.
them up the road if we could borrow their open top bus, because they're never going to need it, are they?
This is the other thing as well. If we move to the NEC, that will theoretically leave only one club in Birmingham.
That's what I was trying to say earlier, I think.
Sure. No.
End of conversation.
I'd say Yardley myself, but there you go.
Where in Yardley?
High Mills.
By the word.
High Mills,
Digbeth. End of conversation.
Digbeth, because we hold the city's name, and I like NEC, but again, it is Solihull, which isn't technically Birmingham.
That's what I was trying
to say. I just think it needs to be near St Andews anyway, because of the history and everything behind it. I just don't think this Wheels, whatever it is, will be good enough, because I think it's going to take longer and more working out on how you're supposed to do it. But I mean, it will be heartbreaking if we do leave, because, and then all of a sudden you've got like...
Yeah, right, okay. I'm going to go back to that one, Claire. Right, boom. I'm old school, 70s. Right, I remember the old cop, the old railway stand, the main stand, and the Tilton Road as it was. That was one hell of a hostile place to be on a Saturday afternoon, I promise you. It was intimidatingly frightening. Now, we've rebuilt the stadium, even though we've got issues with it around that, and we're all now happy with what seems to be there when it's all fully restored and one thing and all that. And we've all gotten over the fact that the old cop's gone. I've got my memories, and the old Tilton Road's gone, and the old railway stand's gone. And now we've got better facilities, without a doubt. Right? Even though I know there's still some remedial work to be done, a lot of it, but certainly for the last 20-odd years, we've had better facilities than we've ever had. I can remember driving up to the Cop and parking in the car. The potholes are 4 foot deep. Huh?
Now they're 3 foot.
Hey!
We've improved that much. We've got to move, Nick. We have got to move.
I'd rather the team on the pitch be better first.
Get the team sorted first.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair...
First mid-table will be fine.
I'm pretty sure they can run alongside.
You look at Milton Keynes have got the best ground in the country.
30,000, isn't it, Alan?
That's right. And they get 3 men and a dog watching.
Yeah.
You don't want that. You've got to get a great team to go into a great stadium. and they can go in parallel, but you can't do one. You can't. The first thing you do is get your team right.
Yeah.
Now,
And your fans and your supporters.
the fans on side, yes, and so they're looking for. Oh, I can't get a ticket. Blah blah. I can't wait till the new stadium opens so we can all get in. That sort of atmosphere you've got to create.
That's exactly where you want to be. It's like an elastic band, isn't it? Being stretched to the full, right? One more pull and it's going to snap, right? That is exactly where you want to be, Alan. To the point where people are saying, I can't get a ticket to get into St Andrews. And I'm not being horrible.
Yeah, it'd be
everybody
nice.
to go in.
Would be nice.
But
would be nice.
that's a driver. What a driver that is.
Yeah.
Well done,
So
Alan.
here's
I
another thing
really
for
appreciate that.
Oh, sorry, Craig. Here's a comment from Paul Smith who gives us this fact that St Andrews is only 7.5 acres. The Wheels is 45 acres. So let that sink in a bit.
Oh, right.
Right.
I think
Can I ask
the
you a
other-
question? I don't know the answer to it, Chris. Is the wheel site actually being used anymore?
It was up until not long ago, stock cars, yeah. Originally it was Speedway, but it is a huge place. I'm not joking.
Right. So
It's
why don't
massive.
we swap?
Well, that's one of the proposals, isn't it? No, I don't think they'll come to. No, because I think it's housing, isn't it? They want to sell. St Andrews will be sold as housing.
So the question that our friend Mr. Hipkiss has raised is a great one, where he says got to improve. I think Claire's just said it, the team, to get people there. But new owners coming through the door now.
Yeah.
New owners potentially listening in or getting the feedback on what all of our fans want.
Pretty sure they are.
So the question is, move or improve? For me, plain and simple, improve.
Improve first. You've got to improve first.
That's the right order. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he can run alongside.
No, well, that would be perfect, wouldn't it?
Pretty sure.
I think if the council have got a say, and the council are going to heavily back the building of a stadium on the Wheels Park, then yes. Nick, you mentioned there about having, we all remember the old days of the Carp, the Tilton.
Yeah. It's all gone, hasn't it? But we're still
it's
happy.
all gone.
We're still Blues fans.
Well, I look at Man City, who, for me, at the time when they made that move to what was the Commonwealth Stadium, right, everybody was like, "Oh my God, that's the wrong thing to do." Nah, never in a million years. No, I've done it. Actually,
how many people remember Man City, Craig, in Division 3?
Yeah,
Division 3.
the good old kickbacks.
Yep, I remember.
And that stadium was extremely hostile, very much like St Andrews. Yeah. But now the City of Manchester Stadium is as hostile, if not more. And that's because they took time to rebuild their brand, to invest in the team, and to get a team ultimately that won the Premier League title and has continued to do so since. Now, because they've got the demand, they can afford, as I think they're doing, to expand the stadium again and know that they're going to sell it. But also the money's still coming, so they can still invest in the team. So we've got to go down that similar path, I think as fans, to be realistic and think, could we get new owners go and storm a league? No. Can we get new owners and improve on what we've got and give it a go? Yeah. And give it a go up until Christmas, see how things are going. And if things are improving, then maybe spend a little bit more money then and see what we can do.
Craig, I don't know of any builder in this world that has ever built a house from the chimney stack downwards, from the chimney pot down. You have to start on the bottom rung of that ladder, right? And when you climb one rung, you get your safety harness out and you clip it onto the next one to make sure that you don't fall backwards. Right?
So apologies to our YouTube viewers, but I'll try and catch up with a few of the comments. But Robert says no need to move ground. We just need a good refurb. Current location is absolutely perfect for our fan base. NEC is a ridiculous suggestion. Way too far for our
Parking
fans.
is awful. The exit takes me 45 minutes to get onto the Litchfield Road, what was effectively Pump Island before they destroyed it. Yeah, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
However, I think
you want to be out.
Going to Wheelstone makes no difference to the infrastructure and the travel.
No,
side
it's
of things.
only about
That's
500 yards.
That is a downside. And,
I've only been to that area once, mate, so I
It's
really
an
can't
8-minute
comment.
walk.
It's not very far. It's not far.
8-minute walk.
It's a lot of people park there before for the game, don't they? So
Yeah. But I mean, going back to the whole issue of moving, half of our league, half of the championship teams, you count them up, probably half have had to move at some point. Half have had this conversation a few years ago.
Yeah.
Coventry, Sunderland,
Yeah.
Middlesbrough. And they've all sort of got over it.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's been a wretch for all of them, but as you say, they've all got over it. Yeah.
It's sad at the time.
Got to move.
It's
Got to
very
move.
sad,
Can I put this question to everybody? I managed to get my 11-year-old granddaughter to a football match last week. I took her to Bromley to see the women play, and I was crossing my fingers. Please, Lord, make this fun. And when you go 3-0 up in 10 minutes, that's fun. And she was hooked. Now then, I thought, well, she'll have to come to the real thing. And then I thought to myself, I don't want to take her into St Andrews, because that's her first sight of a real football match for
Exactly.
and I don't want her to see that. I'm more than happy to take her when the team's half decent and it's back in the right condition. But even more, it would be great to take her to the new ground, and experience that firsthand. If you were in my position and you've got two granddaughters, would you take them to St Andrews?
My granddaughter goes
next
to St
Monday.
Andrews, Alan.
Yeah,
Right?
I would.
Lovely Ava. And
Right.
she said to me the other day, why is all that closed at the bottom?
But let's just go back
Child.
to that question. What would you take kids to St Andrews?
Yes,
it's
because if you've
family
ever
tradition.
been to a new one, the whole atmosphere is totally different. I've been to Arsenal, West Ham. Some of these newer stadiums, they've got absolutely
No atmosphere.
no atmosphere. And you go in and you can't feel the history. Well, when you come into Blues, I know that it's half falling down, but there's something about an old stadium, even when you go like away from home, the Watfords, and when you go
I get what you're
all
saying.
of these, you feel it, and you can feel the history and you can feel the love. When you go to the places like Arsenal, even Man City, you go there and there's something missing. So to get a child to even go and see, look, this is an old style stadium compared to a new one that we might get. Actually, it's an experience still, because they might not ever go to an old style stadium.
Right, Claire, I get what you're saying, right? But
Interesting.
strange, that is. I don't.
This, mate, I tell you, right? Yeah, I would rather take my granddaughter to a brand new stadium, right? This is your future, sweetheart. This is your future now, right?
Sweetheart.
I've had my past. We've now moved. This is your future. And when she gets to 61 years old, she will have her memories, right? And my kids will have their memories. And that will become their church. It will. It will take a while, I promise you. But as long as we build a stadium which is acoustically superb for the supporters, right? And it has to have roofs like that. It has to, right? So that the sound is automatically projected onto the pitch, right? We could
Got to have
a light editing.
You've got to have the atmosphere.
You've got to have fun.
It's strange, really,
Yeah, I get that.
think what you're saying, Claire, there, because I don't actually think of St Andrews as an old stadium at all.
Like, it's not as old as some of the ones you go into, like Watford and some of the others that you go to.
Yeah.
But it is an older stadium. You can tell the difference. Like, I think, you can...
You can only tell the difference in the main stand, Claire.
Yeah.
Oh, the main stand, like, because obviously
The Ray
I
Hobro main
took my
stand,
brother and
sorry.
sister to St Andrews for the first time for a women's game, And like I've taken my brother to like Liverpool and Anfield, and then he went to the main stand, and he was just like, "Where am I? What is this?" And you get that old style. This is what it used to be like, kind of thing. Even like the Tilton and that, it's not built properly, is it?
No.
That's why it's falling apart.
It's quirky. It's quirky.
Yeah, it's different.
It's quirky to who?
Claire, the St Andrews is almost the same age as you.
Yeah.
That main stand is older than me.
Yeah.
And you can
It
tell
may
the
be, but it was
difference.
also
20 years ago.
It was also the most heavily bombed stadium in the country in World War II.
Well, that's right. Yeah, it was not. It was built around 1952, and it's okay. They put a few seats in where there was terracing, and there's some boxes where there used to be a scoreboard. But it's embarrassing. You know, you couldn't put away fans in there; they'd never come back.
We've always said about the main stand, though, if that stand was different and matched everything else,
Yeah, we'd be fine.
it would be fine. Apart from
And
obviously the infrastructure. Of the
if you go on the internet, you can find a video showing how that new stand would look like when it's finished, and the ground is completely matching then on all sides, and it would hold 35,000 people. And you're thinking, well, why hasn't it happened? We're not talking about building another Wembley here. We're adding about 6,000 seats to a stadium that was only put up in 1996 or 7, whatever it was.
And it's the same vision that Sully had, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Same sort of plan that Sullivan had.
Isn't it ironic, though, that the stadium that was built in 1954 has outlived the stadium that was built in the 90s?
Yeah, it is ironic.
With all the technological improvements in building materials and things.
Yeah.
On these discussion points, actually, I put a note out. It's a little segue into that, really, but I put a note out onto our social media, and I'd like to hear people's thoughts on this, because there's a gentleman called Joe Forth who writes for an online blog / Birmingham news type of area, and he's asked what people, do as a routine going to the football, and what I hear from us is we meet up with people, we have a drink, we go to the game. We sometimes meet up afterwards and we have a drink before we go home. Or I've heard of people that have to walk the same way and have done because that's what they did with their dads when they went to their game, or that's when they went with their mums. And they don't want to change it because it's a routine. And I'd love to hear people's thoughts on this. And Joey's going to write an article where he is using the comments from Tilton Talk to go into it. So please, those things.
Well, from me, Craig, I park in Keeley Street. I don't know whether you know where that is. Out to the main stand, turn left, down the hill, and it's the next road that goes down, yeah? And there's lots of trees there. And when my children were small, in autumn, it was a beautiful sound, or that rustling of the leaves. And I told them not to kick the leaves because there's like 600 dog poos in that street.
I go the same way every game. Go the same way every game, park at the same road.
My kids now, last year, we all went together, and it was autumn. And how beautiful was it to hear that noise once again, just once again? Nice. I might never hear it again. Back in the 70s, it was very different. Me and my brother would get up, get on a bus, go to Royal Leamington Spa, have a breakfast and a pint of milk, go into the pub. I think I was...
you were 50. Okay, that's only 20 odd years ago, so that's not too bad.
Mark Meredith, leave home Saturday morning, bus, George game, George, Gary Owen, home Sunday morning. There we go. Ray's just said, does anybody still buy a programme? I don't, unless it's commemorative or a big game.
Sharon bought one last week.
Just from an away game. A big game and an away game, yeah.
And I've got to put it out there, we didn't do this last week, but we do need to do it.
We do.
This week. We need to do our good old sub, sell, and start. And this week, another toughie has been put our way. So the 3 players to put out there: would you sub, sell, or start Liam Daesh, Matty Upson, and Roger Johnson?
I'm going. I can't. No, I never stutter, Chris. I never stutter.
Just go through that again, Craig.
Oh, God.
So, sub, start, or sell Liam Daesh, Matty Upson, and Roger Johnson.
Good
Yet
God.
another toughie.
That is a toughie.
Who's come up with these names, Chris? Who's come up with the names?
Who's thought of this one?
This one again, it's Mr. Hipkiss. Forwards. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Can I go first then?
Go on then,
Claire.
I would, because of who I've watched, I would probably start with Upson. I would have Johnson on the bench and then Dash on the... No, I would have, and then sell the other one.
Interesting.
Just because of who I've seen, because I don't know, I can't remember that Daesh. I don't think I've watched him.
You're going to sell Daesh?
He was class. He was.
I've never watched him play, so I'm...
Yeah.
I was just thinking, are you going to tell him?
Yeah.
He's not listening, is he?
He might be.
Yeah.
Crikey.
For me, it would be I'd sell Upson. I'd have Johnson on the bench, and I'd always be starting with Daesh because that guy, he'd head a brick wall.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Paul. I'm putting out of this one. I really hope I can't do it. I can't do it.
There's a lot of people that go at this one as well, actually. Start Daesh, sub Upson, Sal Johnson, says Lily. And get better soon as well, Lily. Daesh start, Johnson sub, Sal Upson, says Mark Meredith. Start Daesh, sub Upson, Sal Johnson, says Stephen Gill. Paul Smith says sell Liam Daesh. Says you sell Liam Daesh. Kelvin says sub Matty Upson, sell Roger Johnson, start Liam Daesh. And there's quite a few here. Start Upson and Johnson on the bench. Okay. Start Upson, start sub Daesh and sell Johnson. Right.
You know,
okay.
3 of them.
I'm only too pleased that lots of other people have answered that question. Sorry, Alan.
The 3 of them have got one thing in common. We sold them all.
Yeah.
And they all thought they were going to better themselves. And did they? Certainly Daisy did, although he played in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Johnson was, after he moved, his career was a disaster. And Upson, I mean, he never played for England again. I mean, he had a couple of seasons with West Ham, who were struggling at the time. Yeah. You know, they all left us thinking they were going to better themselves. They didn't.
Okay, right, because I was sick as a blank, right? I can't remember who Roger Johnson's partner was in the defence.
Scott Dan.
Yeah, Scotty Dan.
Yeah,
Scott Dan and Roger Johnson, that partnership, why ever was that split up? They were superb.
Yeah.
Because we got relegated.
And Dan had his injuries, didn't he?
Dave Twine says, I shook Daesh's hand and I'm still waiting for it back.
Hey!
And it's actually saying Daesh, I saw game before last, Stoke game, Daesh, good old Skip, and one other of our ex-players walking up to the stadium with the fans, right? Even though they're working for the club, they were doing it as fans. And it was great because they had a laugh and a joke with absolutely everybody. But God, when you listen to the conversations, they're saying the same as us.
Mate, they're humans. They're humans. They go to the toilet, they have breakfast, they have dinner, they have tea. They're just humans. And you know what? That's one of the best things that is about this show. In the 11, 12 years that I've been with Chris and doing this, is that nobody has ever thought they're any better than us, right? Nobody. They've all spoken on exactly the same level. And can I just give Gordon Taylor absolute credit for last week?
That was a fantastic show last week, yeah.
Phenomenal.
Absolutely
and I know it was unfortunate. I know, you know, there wasn't a lot of our interaction there, but to let that man just speak was just amazing. What an absolute gentleman.
And if you haven't heard it yet, it's still available on our catch-up system. But and I implore you, just listen to it, especially for our
Chris, it was proper in the 11 years, right up there.
Yeah. And
the Robbie Savage one, along with you know what?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's probably more appreciated by our older listener, but now listen to it. It's a cracking one. Mark, we've got an announcement. We might as well get these through a couple of announcements as well. We've got as well.
Yeah, I'd like to make a quick mention for the Summer Fete. It's a few months away. It's 30th of July, the Sedgmere Club. It's to help support Excessive Blues, so all the guys at Excessive Blues. 30th of July, it starts at 9 a.m. and you got a lot of stuff going on there, you know, your usual fairground stuff. So if you can get along to it, like I say, it's a few months to go, but we'll start mentioning it later. We get a big crowd, hopefully, on the day.
Yeah.
Hopefully have some sunshine there as well.
Also, I've just been messaged regarding the end of season player awards as well. So if anybody's looking for any tickets, there's a guy here who's got a couple of spare ones. His name is Darren. But if you get in touch with me, I'll push him. I'll put you onto him. There you go. He's sold 2, but he's still got 2 available on a table. Can't remember what it was. Might be a table of 10. But get in touch with me if you're interested.
And on the Players Awards, we've got the TTS representation there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's myself, Claire. We're gonna take
just the rich ones are going.
Well.
So, wish I was a teacher.
Saw these strikes.
Hang on, I'm going as well.
I know that's what we just said. Some bloke.
Yeah, but you're from Coventry.
I'm not from Coventry. I live in Coventry.
Yeah, but you're from Coventry. You've got to get out of Coventry somehow.
Mark, you've just mentioned a great site for the new ground, Sedgmere Road.
Where's that?
Oh, for the Summer Fete, the same place.
Oh, that's a nice little plug there, Mark. Congratulations!
There you go.
Good stuff.
Actually, going on to the player awards, top of your head, who's player of the season? For me, it's Ruddy.
Oh yeah, let's get on to that. Yeah.
Ruddy.
So we don't think Dukey, no?
UK or Ruddy, either one.
Yeah, to be honest, a lot of people on our group have more gone for Ruddy than Dukey, which surprised me.
Look, Dukey's a stalwart. He's a rock. Ruddy has pulled off some world-class saves that has saved our bacon on so many occasions this season.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's over the season as well, isn't it, Craig?
It is. It's across the season, but also I just look at it. We could name quite a few players. I mean, defensive-wise, you've got Colin.
Trusty's been brilliant.
Trusty, yeah. And I mean, I know Trusty will be in the running. And for me, probably will win the young player of the season. The only thing that scares me is it's another lone player that's going to win an award at our club. And actually, we should be having our own players winning these awards. So, that's one thing we've, as a club, have got to, I suppose, change from, hard to fall in love with a lone player knowing they're going to go back at the end of the season.
It is.
You give our youngsters a chance, and who knows what they can go on to do.
Like Joe playing. He's took his chance. To me, you can't drop him at the moment.
No.
Who are we talking? Sorry, Claire.
Joe Bellingham. I thought he was brilliant.
Yep.
Is
he deserving of the?
Linda Magnus says Colin is brilliant constantly, but never mentioned. So
that's right.
Yeah, he is. And 250 odd games as well.
Getting into the team of the season. In fact, I think I saw one the other day that, based on average scores across the season, Kylan is actually in the EFL Championships team of the season.
He's got to stay, hasn't he?
Again,
that's good.
Look, I'm not a great lover of the all-time long throw-in, right? And I was watching the game on TV the other night. And he went for it and then just took a short one. And I thought, that is what we need. A variant, right? I think we scored 1 goal from all those long throw-ins.
Mm-hmm.
Are they celebrating the women as well at the awards?
They are celebrating the women.
It's joint, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's tough. That is for the women.
Yeah,
And
we've tried so
I'd
hard.
say to miss out by as close to what they've done.
But how well have they done, though, Craig? Come on,
Amazingly.
round of
But then
applause for our ladies.
I also look at it this way. The league themselves, I still find it really bad. That you only have one team relegated and one team promoted. I mean, it should be at least a minimum of two because there's two teams in every league that are standouts or are the ones that need to go because they're not good enough.
Or a playoff, maybe? I don't know.
Playoff, yeah. I mean...
Oh, Chris, yeah, definitely.
Amazing.
Could you imagine a full St Andrews?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. For a playoff, there would be. Yeah, I agree.
I just hope that they can win on next Sunday and beat Bristol and finish second. And then we can have the argument about, well, there should be two promoted and, how hard we were done. But they deserve that. They deserve some recognition.
Absolutely.
And then I've got to be honest, you look back in the season, you're thinking, God, they slipped up there and they slipped up there. But they've had such a good run in the second half.
That's football, Alan, and that's
absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
You only need to slip up once or twice, and it can cost you your season.
We
all know that. We
need to keep them together as well. That's the. I know it will be tough.
And the gaffer.
Jay Pennock, amazing, and she to me, she got my votes as player of the season.
Can we put her in the men's team on Saturday? Because she can score goals, mate. Yeah. She can score goals. Absolutely. I mean, against Crystal Palace at Bromley, she was amazing. And if I'm critical, there should have been 6 up at half time, not 3. But she was lightning, absolutely lightning.
Has anybody, Alan, and I don't know the answer to this question, ever taken on the football authorities along with the what do you call it? Sexual sort of discrimination people to say, why can't a woman play in a man's team?
Good question.
It won't be long.
Yeah, because boys can play. Boys can play in
school
girls'
level,
teams when they're younger, and it's never been the opposite way, really.
Yeah. I think there's
Claire, if we've got a woman player, lady player, who is absolutely superb, why can't she play in the men's team? I don't care.
I think it will happen.
2023.
It will happen. It'll happen
at some point. So if I'm completely honest, I think the thing that stops it at this present moment is the fact that when you look at the two games and the way that they've come together, it's progressing, but it's not progressing at the same pace. So when if I was to say, could we field half a team full of women in with the men? Yeah, we could. And they could stand their own, and they're skillful enough to be there.
Absolutely.
Would be the people you play against, and would they change the way that they would play in order for it to happen? So would it jeopardise the game? So, for example,
I don't know, but there's
would
ladies
you pull out the tackle?
I've got friends around here, ladies, right, that build Rolls-Royce jet engines.
Well, I think it comes down to that.
I don't get why we can't have mixed.
It is a different. If you do watch the men's and the women's, it is different, as in the speed
because the
and
women
everything
don't
else.
roll over for 20 minutes after they've been fouled, and they don't cry. They get up and get on with it.
I just think the pace is totally
different.
I mean, at the moment in the women's game, we are finding, because of how it's developing quicker, we are getting more ACL injuries, like Leah Williamson, Shiv from the Blues as well. She's got one. So we're catching up, and it's going to take years and years and years to catch up. But it's also how women are built as well. We're built differently to men. Yeah. And I think we're finding that out with all the injuries that the women are actually getting now.
Really intelligent answer, Claire. Proper. Absolutely proper. Now I understand it. Right. 20 minutes ago, I didn't. Right, ladies and gentlemen, until the last 15 minutes, it's cooking ingredients tonight. Ingredients from Mark.
I've got one.
Thank you. Well, hang on, Claire. Put your hand up if you want to interrupt me, love.
I'll get my cat in a minute.
Sorry.
You can stick your two fingers up and you get answered a lot quicker, Claire.
It's cooking ingredients and football, anything to do with any cooking ingredient, anything you can cook, cooking ingredients. Claire, off you go, my little flower. Flower,
Danny,
did you get it?
Danny
Whoa.
seasonings.
Huh?
Danny seasonings.
Okay.
Danny seasoning.
And Danny Ings.
I'm so excited for that
Oh
one.
yeah.
I haven't wet myself yet, though.
That deserves a wah, 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 wah.
No, it deserves it. And just before people are thinking about that, I just want to hark back to the infrastructure at the ground and go towards parking. Apparently, the traffic wardens had a bit of a field day on Saturday, didn't they, Craig?
Let's not go there. It's there's always one game in a season. I've come to this conclusion that it's when Birmingham City Council need to get some money back because they've realised they've paid out too much. But to have a whole road at the back of the main stand ticketed, including, and I'll tell you, I really hope some people from the council are listening.
Listen to this.
But how can you ticket a disabled mobile van that has
Are
a
you
blue
for
badge
real?
in the front of it?
Are you for real?
That's true, yeah. It's true.
Steve
So-
Portman.
Steve Portman's car was ticketed
Disgusting.
at the
What a
weekend.
filthy, horrible council Birmingham are. What a filthy bunch of idiots.
But changing
Don't
the
hold
subject
back, Nick.
completely, we've had a winner already. I'm sorry. This
Yeah.
is going to make you cry. and
What, the
wet
first
yourself.
one?
What is
Mark Meredith with Dealey had a bowl of cookie dough.
It's so
Okay,
good.
I've got Barry Fryer.
So good.
it?
Yeah. Tim Flowers. Dilly had a bowl.
Flowers, yeah.
Dilly had a bowl of rice.
Walter
right, no, but-
Pandiano.
What about
Yeah.
Noel Bay?
What you got, Claire? Sorry.
Oh,
Walter Pandiano.
Water, Pandiani.
Oh, right. Okay.
Noel Bay?
Noel
No
Bake.
cooking ingredients. What's the cooking ingredients in there?
Oh, yeah.
Salt and pepper claret. Bakery sack of potatoes.
that's just brilliant, mate.
Oh,
No,
dear me.
Noel Bay?
David Stockdale.
Stock cube.
Oh, clever.
Yeah.
I'll give that one to Mama J.
Heart of
Oh, is that
chocolate.
Mama J?
Yeah, Mama J.
Can we have a shot of you, mother? Can we have a turn around?
Come on, Mum. Come over here. Come and say hello. No, she's like, no.
Oh, come on.
Nothing.
Rowan.
I'll take the pictures at the
Say no.
Take a
at the
picture
Player
of her.
Awards. I'll get the pictures, Nick. Don't worry.
Just look at my Facebook, there's loads.
Yeah, Harley Bean.
Mm.
Harley Bean, okay. Delia had a bowl of curry sauce with chips and rice, of course. Jimmy Muffin case.
Yeah.
Steve Cook.
Yeah.
Steve Cook.
Chicken and doy. Danny Blanche flour.
Mark Sade.
I'll put
Peter
in
Ovenglove.
Timo Pucky Pie.
Yeah.
Peter Ovenglove.
Nicky Butt and bread. Pat Rice, Phil Sort Oldham player. Is that your mum laughing there?
Can you hear Mama laughing?
She's got a
My mum's here waiting herself.
She's got a disgusting laugh. Lee Parsley.
Tenors on, Claire. Tell us to put a tenors on, Duck. It will save the carpet.
God.
She's all age anyway, so this is what we have to put up with.
David Celery, ex-referee.
Oh no! What a horrible man! He robbed us. He robbed us. Sorry, Chris.
We know.
Can you expunge that one from your memory?
Curry
He
Fry,
robbed us.
Tim Flower, John Spuddy, Lee Parsley, Time Ross, Jasper Carrot, of course. I've been waiting for that one for so long. I can't believe it's not Buttersworth.
That's clever as well.
Cock and Lee Parsley. Cock and Lee. Yeah, oh God. Some of these I don't get.
We had one, didn't we, earlier on from our
I've got one
very
here.
own Mr.
Sorry,
Broofer. Go on, Nick.
Go on, Nick, go
I
on.
was thinking in a minute, Craig. Ready? Chive Thomas, the referee.
Yeah, Charles Thomas.
He hated us, didn't he?
What about Paul Pesto, Solido?
Pesto.
Very clever.
His name means fish. Pescasolido means fish.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Does it?
Italian.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
pest.
Pesci, fishy in Italian.
Jordan Piccalilli.
What about flan
Whoa,
raspberry?
whoa, whoa. Sorry, Mark. When do we cook piccalilli?
It depends where you're from.
It's the ingredient of a
Oh,
sandwich.
right.
Yeah. You can fry anything. Especially if you're
What
from
about
Birmingham.
flan lazaridis?
Flan Lazarus. Yeah, I like it, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's
Teddy
pretty good.
Teddy shredded ham. Teddy shredded ham.
That's very
Yeah.
clever.
Shredded
Whoa!
ham.
Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant. Super noodle Les Ferdinand. Super noodle Les Ferdinand. Wes Brown sauce. Lobster
What about-
thermidor.
What about beef fahi? Beef fahi.
Mark,
Cheese
no,
Adams.
stop it. Oh, Don Kavanagh. Teriyaki Cooper.
Very clever.
Oh.
I don't think we're going to have time to do our Hall of Fame, are we now?
Well, we're not, but I'll put it. What I'll do is I'll put out what
Ah,
our
come on, we've got
questions
6
will
minutes
be
left.
for
We've got
today.
6 minutes. Go.
No,
Chris,
because
go.
we'll just rush it. We'll just rush it, and
Are you
we
sure?
need. Yeah, we'll rush it, and we want it.
All right,
We want it to be spot on, don't we?
Mark Brooks, Frank barbecue sauce.
The Blues owners, Chinese Five Spice, Caribou Sterland, Barry fried
Meredith,
noodles.
I'd rather be a sausage than an egg.
Oh, I'd rather be a sausage, damn it. Claire, do you remember that?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Vinda Lou Macari.
Mama Lulu cucumber.
So no, hang on. I'm telling you, you've got to say that again now. Go on, say it.
I've lost it now. I'll just keep
Oh, you're on full screen now.
Ramayu
Lukaku.
cucumber.
Lukaku. Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna,
don't know.
I'm gonna clip that.
I've lost it.
What are you drinking? Chive, Alan.
Tea, apparently.
It is true.
Pizza pan noodles.
that spice.
Pizza pan noodles. Pizza pan noodles. Yeah.
Have we had Barry stir fry?
Declan Rice.
Alex Oxo Chamberlain.
That's in.
That's good, yeah.
Claire, that's definitely in.
Yeah. Alex Oxo Chamberlain
It's at the
on
bottom,
YouTube.
but it's in.
There you go.
That's clever as well. Just while these are all coming through, I want to shout out a bit of a further update on all the charity stuff. So we did a total the other day, and we have raised again in excess of £2,000 across this season, but we haven't finished. So Stephen Gill, who writes our ladies' blogs, has very kindly managed to get a shirt signed with the help and support of the club for the whole of the ladies' squad, including the management team. It's going to go up for auction with all funds to go to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, which is an area very, very closely linked to the life of Stephen and the support that they've given him and his family. So please watch out. I will post details, but it'll be an auction. Please get ready with your bids for that fully signed shirt.
Excellent.
Okay, and just before we go, we've got 3 minutes to go. I've got to say happy birthday to Ode Shout. She was 60 on Saturday, and we had a bit of a hog roast and a party downstairs. And for those of you that may or may not know, Sharon's lad was killed in Afghanistan in the war. Mr. Blair.
Oh, can't hear.
Here we go. I'm going to move around a little
Lost
bit.
you?
There you go. That's her card collection.
Oh, very
there.
nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
A day over 21, Nick.
Oh, I thought she was a lot older than that. You know what I mean? But
That is our tribute to her son, right? Across there.
nice, very
This
nice.
here, that picture there, was signed by the people that were serving with him out in Afghanistan. 10 of them managed to come over for the first time ever this week. And they came up and they said, oh my God, I can't believe that was me right in that. It was a proper heart-wrenching moment, but it was proper. And you know what? We had great fun downstairs. Incredible. There she is, Ode 60, the old bird. Oh my God. And great fun was had by all. Special thanks to the lovely Tracy Hemmings for coming over. She never refused the party.
No. Especially if there's anything free, it should be there straight away.
God bless you. So
Yeah.
she watched the game and then come out up for the weekend. Jack and Auntie Linda and Wendy Mills and her lovely husband. And we all had a laugh together, and it was great. You know what? We just chilled out, had a laugh, had a hog roast and all that.
Excellent.
So happy birthday, old Shaz, you gift.
Fantastic.
Right.
Here we go. Stilton Park. Stilton Talk. Stilton Talk.
So, yes, Lloyd Hour.
Mark Fish.
No, don't read any more on that.
Only had a damn jar. Walter Pandilardi. Walter Pandilardi. Paul
I'm
Mintz.
going to go to bed happy tonight now. I've heard that one.
Paul Mintz. Paul Mintz, that's a good one. Yeah, yeah. Paul Haggis. Ollie Gunner Jam Jar. Oh, he said that one. Darren Ambrose Custard.
Oh, they're getting better. They're getting better.
Camembert Troutman. John Grain.
Oh, great.
John
There we
Gray.
go. Fantastic. And I think we're about there.
What about there? We
Well
are
done,
beginning to
everybody.
speak now, gentlemen, and,
Can I just quickly?
Go on.
Of course, Alan, of course.
Can I just? And I promised I'd do this. Give a big shout out for my wonderful daughter Anna, who completed the London Marathon yesterday in 4 hours, 47 minutes.
Oh,
Yes.
That's
You get some
impressive.
clap from Tilton Talk.
yeah, it's a decent time. That
Well
is.
done.
Decent time. Yeah.
You know what?
Very
Alan,
proud.
I used to be able to do all that kind of stuff like back in the day. Like, and then 30 odd years ago, I bent over to pick a letter up. It changed my life in a split second. Every single one of you bend with your knees, not your back, because you know what? You're asking for trouble if you don't. And hey ho, it is what it is, but you know, you have to manage it, don't you?
You certainly do.
What?
Nick, I've got to put one in there for you, which
What
I know
common-
you'll love.
Hang
Sorry,
on,
Craig.
one more from Craig.
One more that I know you'll love, but what about Razor Haddock?
Oh, don't get him started. You won't like it when you get him started.
It's
I
enough.
want a name. I want a name.
What,
name.
of who
A
did that one?
name. I will find it if you don't give it me. I want that name.
It was me.
Right, hey, come on, Nick. I can't go over. It's time to say goodbye, Nick.
It is time to say goodbye. It's been the Tilton Talk Show. Chris Brown, say goodnight to the people.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Mr. Fixer, say goodnight to the people.
Good night, the people.
Chairman of the board, Alan Watton, say goodnight to the people.
Good night, everybody.
Mark Adams, all the way from Coventry, say goodnight to the people.
Good night, all. Good night, all. Have a good week.
The lovely Claire Giblin, along with her mum, say goodnight to the people.
Good night, see you all at Coventry.
Night, Bobby Giblin.
Say you're a bad puppy. You're a bad puppy. And from myself and the Tilton Talk Show, love you all, guys. Thanks ever so much. This has been season 11.
It's crazy, isn't it?
11 years. 11 years, Chris.
I know, mad.
Little
Absolutely
wow, come
mad.
Back in after the summer. But this has been the Tilton Talk Show. Thanks ever so much, lovelies. You know what? You inspire me every single week because you got so much comedy, so many good thoughts, so many nice people. And